Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me now? Is it all right? We are good to go. Won't be needing these, man. But yeah, no, I'm just chilling. Left with thoughts, a lot of them, a lot of fucking thoughts. So many, so many. Mm, I guess technically I'm another year older. At least by what we use to count and shit. So that's one thing. I'm older. I don't know. A lot of shit going on in the world too. Um, oh, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is my birthday. The 23rd of the 10th month of the 23rd year. 23, 23. But I'm not 23. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Just, I don't know, man. There's a lot of different topics. You got Kanye running for president. Apparently now he's gay. That's not me saying that. That's the media saying that. And then you got Donald Trump trying to make his way back into the hot seat. A lot of people fighting him on that. He is or is not guilty. I don't know. You got Palestine and fucking Israel fighting, and that's just a touchy situation altogether. You got aliens among us. They've been among us for I don't know how many years, and everybody's saying that shit. So it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, but I'm willing to digest and unpack it. Like, I mean, the Palestine Israel situation. So I've always been one to be measured and never really speak on shit that I ain't 10 toes down about and I don't know anything about. With that being said, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Israel and Palestine, that shit goes way back. It goes back deep. Like, it goes back to Israel and the Philistines, but nobody likes hearing that name and stuff like that. So you bring up old school shit. But I don't know, man. Israel and Palestine. So I'm Jewish, but essentially it's colonization. Yeah, it is. Essentially, that shit's colonization, bro. It's so how do I put it? It is 1500 America. Okay, it is the wild wild west of building a country, a true country. You have you have a country that will limp on, but it ain't. It's a touchy situation because it is, but it ain't. So I would love to say that that is the equivalent of the settlers coming over here, the Anglo-Saxon settlers coming over here to the United States and subjugating the Native Americans, subjugating all the other indigenous people here, then bringing over the slaves, and then bringing over the Chinese, bringing over the Asians that did the railroads, bringing up the Mexican workers and having them when they basically wrestled the West from Mexican territory and doing all of that, and then claiming that this land is their birthright. Now, they're not wrong because by conquest, by the laws of conquest, the person with the bigger stick or the rock or whatever, by that, yeah, they're right, man. Like, I mean, shit. What are you gonna do? They're absolutely right. They have won. They have won the right. They have the bigger stick. They have the bigger rock. They get to make the rules. With that being said, um, I know. But with that being said, I don't know, man. It is the Jewish people, the true children of Israel and such, were natives to Israel before Israel became Palestine, before Israel was taken from them by the Romans. So by that, you people might want to call me Afro man, but yeah, I mean, it was taken away by the Rome. Like, if you really want to dive into your history, but if you dive into history, people begin to say you're a Zionist. So that's like a blanket fucking thing of saying that, okay, I'm uh I'm less of an American. I'm not. I was born here in America. I was never born in Africa. I was never been to Africa. So to say I'm African American would be wrong, but it'd be right. I mean, because I do have roots that tie back to Africa. I have roots that tie back to the Caribbean. I have roots that, you know, it's it's wild. But with that, it's just, if you go back, it was originally, you know, it belonged to the Jews, and all they want to do is make it a Jewish state. And it's not like they're saying, "Hey, no Palestinians can be here," but the people from, the Palestinian people can live there. They're just saying that, hey, this is our land. That would be that would be no worse than, all right, yeah, here's a good situation. So let's say the Native Americans all gather up, like they are super immune up to all European and, you know American diseases and stuff, and they have futuristic weapons that can fuck up anything we have currently right now. And they all decide that we give them like a big chunk of the US, like, the middle or the East Coast or whatever. They get a big chunk of the US. And then they push that they want the whole US back. We've got just enough of every nation, every tribe. And they're just like, no, we want the whole country back so our people can thrive again. And so, obviously, U.S. government's not going to go for that shit. They're going to be like, man, fuck that, fuck off. Like, we're here. We'll share this country with you. We'll give you your little sliver of whatever we think is fair, but we're here. Now, we're not wrong, because this has been our home for X amount of 100 years, but this has been their home like all their lives. Like, their people have, cultivated the land. They've learned how to work the land and all the secrets and nuances and shit of the land. Now, they say that's not going to work for me. That that whole little thing just ain't going to work for me. So now I'm going to fuck you up if you start shit, but we want more of this. We want certain places, and we want certain things that have a sentimental value and a religious value to our people. We want certain places, certain states. Again, we push back. So we think they're oppressors or an invasive people, or, you know, some radicalists, some terrorists, or whatever, trying to come over here, fuck up our country. The shit that we got going, that we've established, that isn't 100% great already as it is. It's a lot of flaws, and we've had so many hundreds of years to get it right, but we're fucking it up still. But what are you gonna do? We're babies. We're babies. We're what, 500? Good. 550, if that. Like, we're a young country, man. We'll either get there or we won't. So We say no, we push back. The Native Americans fuck us up like bad. They have futuristic weapons. They fuck us up bad, and then they start gaining more of they gain more ground, they gain more of the country or whatever. So they gain more of the country, and then our people are pushed down more and stuff. You've got more and more Native Americans coming out. You got more and more people saying that, oh, okay, this is how it is, and this is how it's gonna be, and this is, you know, what it is and what it ain't. Now we can push against that, but we're gonna get fucked up again. Now they're cutting off our supply routes, and they're taking over. They're saying that no, we're going to be the only ones getting supplies in. The UN, the rest of the world recognize the Native American sovereignty. They make this a Native American country once again. They recognize that. Native American high chief or president, whatever they want to call him, and he's in position of power, and their first thing is fucking, scorch earth, because like the Americans didn't do them any favors with polio, blood, smallpox, and all that shit, uh slaughtering their women, children when they weren't around. The American, like, we have a bloody history. That is not just the Americas. That is the Italy, the Roman Empire. That is the Anglo Saxons. That is Britain, Britannia. That is Africa currently. That is Egypt. That is like the blood ran the Nile way before Moses' time. Let me tell you, that is so many countries. That is China. Genghis started it, and he had it going real good, and Kublai finished that shit. Like, our world, our country, our entire existence on this planet has been written in blood since Cain cracked Abel's head. Like, it is what it is. Am I saying that is right? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's right on either side. I'm not saying that you can bomb a hospital, or you can, do this and do that, without any repercussions. I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the price of war comes cheap. I'm not saying that the price of peace comes cheap either. Peace peace comes at the risk of pride. So I can stand tall and get chopped down, or I can kneel for the benefit of my people and have prosperity, but hate myself every day that I wake up, because I feel entitled, that I feel that I should have been able to do better, or do more, or do something morally just when it comes to something. Black people in the United States, they swallowed shit like every fucking day for fear of death. They didn't even have leverage. There was no Hamas. There was no, like, there was just, you get hanged, you get, genitals chopped off or seared, you get, maimed, you get put out on display publicly for somebody to point and laugh at, shit like that. So shit like that would happen on the regular in the U.S. And um, I had a conversation with somebody recently that they say they feel that um, racism doesn't exist. They feel that racism isn't real. Like, that shit's just made up. And they're right. Racism is made up. Like, racism is definitely made up, but not in the way that they canonized it in their mind. Racism is made up to put people in a certain caste system, and it is what it is. You take it as it goes. But I'm getting off the beaten path. So with Palestine, like, pride is on the line, and religion is on the line. You have all these other Muslim countries that They won't give aid, or they won't stop the shit that's going on, because once again, you got, I heard it quoted the other day, and it's very true. Israel stands as a warning to other Muslim countries that, you know, you need to keep this country Muslim strong, and, fuck all the other infidels, like, because you see what's going on with Israel. If you let any of these, people that aren't Muslim in, then they'll destroy us from within. They're using Israel as a cautionary tale, as kind of a Trojan horse, if you would. But again, even surrounded on by all sides and stuff, um, the Jews were there first. Like, way back when, if you want to go biblical, which I try to vary from, veer off from being biblical, but if you want to go biblical, the Jews were, you can get line up as best as you can, south of this, north of this, west of this, east of this river, and there you go, Israel. And then if you do that, you got modern day, what was modern day Palestine, and then boom, that's their land, that's their shit. And it even goes back, if you want to review Roman records, like, that's, they got war crimed and shit. But I don't have to be a Zionist to recognize history. Now, again, like I said, I'm not condoning that, um, innocence getting caught up in this shit is justified. But what I am saying is, there is no right or wrong. There is no, good or bad. There's just winners, and then there's losers. And the winners will always paint themselves as the good guys. I know that. I've known that since she was a kid. But yeah, I think about the Roman Empire a lot, actually. We're based off of it, believe it or not. But yeah, it's there's that. There's somebody once, and this is a very touchy subject that could probably get my whole channel, like, dismantled, destroyed, and taken down. But whatever. But then it is what it is. Again, people talk about gender equality. Okay, there's being gender equality. I'm all for it. I'm all for, if a woman can do it, a man can do it. If a man can do it, a woman can do it. I'm all for that. But when they take gender equality and they turn it and flip it into something else, and it's like, oh, they're like, okay, well, just because I look like this doesn't mean that I shouldn't be addressed as a woman. And that's where they lose me. This gender fluidity in today's generation and today's society, that people, and a lot of them, some of them in very powerful positions in life, but they believe that gender begins and ends here and not here. It's all here. This is gender. They try to separate gender and sexuality, when sex, your sexual assigned at birth, like, that is your gender. You don't get to identify really as anything than what you are, because on the cost of burning bridges with a lot of people and fucking a lot of people up, at the end of the day, even with cosmetic surgery, It's make believe. You are playing Peter Pan pretend at being something that you're not. Now, I learned to use my imagination as a child, so I'm all on board to play Peter Pan pretend and pretend right along with you and be like, oh, okay, I'll call you ma'am, I'll call you sir. I'll, show you respect until you've deemed that I should not respect you. But at the end of the day, if you go to the hospital and they have to take your blood, your DNA is going to tell them you are male. Your bones are going to tell them you are male. Everything about your chemical makeup is going to tell them that you're male. There's no way you go to the hospital and you run a blood test and they say, did you know that you were pregnant, ma'am? Because that is scientifically impossible for a male to conceive, even if that male is on the outside made up to look like a female. It's just not going to happen. Vice versa. If a guy comes into the ER, full mustache and beard, just like me, everything is great. And they run a blood test or whatever. They're just going through the motions. If they tell that male, if they tell him that, hey, sir, did you know that you were pregnant? That's scientifically impossible. Intersex people, though, when I have to choose, do enlighten me. Now, when they have to choose. Yeah, no, I agree 100% with that. Now, that makes a lot of sense. Intersex people. So, you have people, the original transgenders, by the way, to people, again, if they know history, if they know science, if they know facts, you have people that are born with both. They have both working, you know, the plumbing's working on both of those things down there. And they're born, and their parents can either A, make the choice for them, which that, it is whatever, or at a certain point in time, uh, they can make that decision that, hey, I feel more like like a Jimmy than a Jeanette. I feel more like an Adam than an Alice. So that's the route that I'm gonna rock with. Or I feel, or vice versa. But those people, I get it. I get it. They just want to be whole. They want to feel, okay, I don't need this. I feel like this is some useless shit. So I want to get rid of that. And I want to keep this. I get that 100%. But with gender dysphoria, which it is, so when you talk to certain people about gender dysphoria, they will say that that is not a mental condition, that that is not a mental illness. But by all purpose and intent, gender dysphoria is classified in every known like way, shape, and form as a mental disorder, as a mental illness. And in today's time, it's almost like a crime to call it a mental illness. But gender dysphoria is a mental illness, and I don't like the statistics that they are keeping hidden from the public to push an agenda, because the stats that show about the people that have committed suicide or self mutilation because they've regretted, my bad, let me dial that back. The stats that show people who have deleted themselves or, harmed themselves, because it's already out there, so that's probably going to get flagged. But anyway, it's astronomical, actually. Like, If you have the chance, Google it. Like, it's pretty high. And I believe those people were Mickey Mouse Playhouse treated like they were just the docs or whomever they were dealing with. If they went to a professional, was getting paid an astronomical amount of money. And to keep those people coming back, they were telling them what they needed to hear. And they even suggested that, hey, why don't you go ahead and get the surgery? You'll feel more complete. Still keep coming back and seeing me, and I'll help you transition. And these people probably just needed help versus a full on surgery to make them into somebody else that they would eventually come to hate or regret. Um, Most of it comes down to preference too, because I don't know. I I've done all types of jobs in my short amount of life. Like, I've been on this earth 3.5 decades, and I've seen it all. I've seen people dress like girls. I've seen people dress like boys. I've seen a lot. So what it comes down to when I see this big movement for transgender and being whole is it is an upgrade from when I was growing up of cross dressing. The technology is more sophisticated. The procedures are more, pristine, and they're able to do it safer now. So versus being cross dresser, it's like, all right, well, I will go ahead and do the real thing. I'll go ahead and get the full on operation. I'll get the fake boobs. I'll get that taken care of downstairs, and I'll finally be a real woman. But my point is this right here: if we are on the level playing field of equality and choice and being respected, why isn't the other side respecting? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this right here: I don't have to go out and tell people I'm black. I don't have to go out and tell people that, you know, because they can look at me and tell me, tell I'm black. If I had a machine that somehow or another changed me and made me appear to be any other ethnicity than black, just to date a certain person because they only dated certain ethnicities, but I was attracted to them. They liked me as a friend and conversationalist, but they didn't like me because of my ethnicity. And we're not making it a race thing, but I'm just saying, humor me. So now all of a sudden, I'm looking like this and all this stuff, and then me and this person been getting along well for a while, and then boom, I dropped the bomb on him. Psych, this is really me. I know that I've kind of, wasted your time, but since you're already, in love with me, you fell in love with who I am, you might as well stay with me or give me a chance because, we've already gone past that bridge. Now, I should 1 billion% fully be expecting whatever reaction I have out of that person. I've wasted their time, I've stolen from them, I've betrayed their trust, I've emotionally fucked with that person. No matter how you try to cut it, you can try to say this and that and the other. I fucked with that person, and I should do my damnedest, to expect any and everything that's coming my way. Any and everything that's coming my way. So, if you are a if you are a transgender male or a transgender female and you want to be respected as such, you want to be treated as a woman, you're not a male, you're not a female, that's fine. I get that. But when you were a male, when you were in a male form, when you were in a female form, you were attracted sexually to males, you were attracted sexually to females. So, with that being said, you were essentially gay at the time. So fair game, but whatever pays. I don't know what goes through your head. I don't know what goes through your head. I don't know what goes through your mind, your heart. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's not my cup of tea. But at some point, dating gay guys or dating gay women wasn't enough for you. And in your mind, you wanted to be attractive. You viewed yourself more feminine. You felt more feminine energy. So you wanted to be a woman and possibly even cross dress. But you wanted to attract heterosexual males. This is where we get into the roughness of it all. You want to attract heterosexual males. Now, first off, heterosexual male like women, and as you coined it now, the term being they like cis women. So again, new age shit. So that's what they're attracted to. That's what they go after. So they're not going for you. You get your surgery. Maybe you're pre-op still. Maybe you're not full on. Everything downstairs taken care of, and you pass though. Everything else is green light go. The face is great. The boobs are nice. The Adam's apple has been chemically taken care of or shaved down or however the procedure goes. And you, for all purposes and intents, pass as a woman. You feel like a woman. You feel attractive. You are, you're good to go. So you start dating a heterosexual male. Heterosexual male that's attracted to cis women. Heterosexual male dates you for a while. And obviously things are gonna happen. Now you may be able to, you know, fool the corner and stuff for a while before it gets revealed that hey, we've been dating for a while. I'm actually, I was born something else, but I'm a woman. You got two reactions. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You have two reactions. One of those are gonna be violent. The other one is gonna be a peaceful resolution for you, but he may or may not ever talk to you again. But that violent one, you will never talk to him again. I guarantee that. But you should be full on expect the former of the two, because just be prepared for that one. That is not equality. That is not respect. You rob this man of a choice. You rob this man of making his own decision. He was tricked and fooled into making a decision. You wouldn't want to be tricked and fooled into making a decision. He was tricked and fooled into making a decision, and now he's with, you know, a transgender woman. Let's take it one step further. Let's say you have the full on package, surgery and such, and the relationship goes on for a while. This man is picturing little hymns, both male version, female versions running around, introducing you to his family, to his mother, to his dad, all this stuff. And you still haven't told him that he's not shooting blanks. Like, you guys can't get pregnant. You're trying to push the adoption angle that people need stuff and then all this. But the reality is, you can't give him a family in that way. And once he finds out, once again, you're going to be met with two reactions. One of those is going to be very violent. Hopefully, it's never that violent reaction, but just saying. And vice versa, let's swap over to the transgender female or transgender male, my bad. So you have a guy that passes and all this stuff, makes a woman fall in love with him, does all the right things. The woman is now picturing having his babies and stuff. One problem, Can't give men, you can't give her any children. So you push the adoption angle. But once again, you can't give her any children. Now, with that, transgender males may be met with more of an exception. I don't know. I haven't done many studies on that, but it may be met with more of an accepting. My wife, she watches 90 Days, and from what I've seen, like they're met with a lot more acceptance. Like it's like I don't know, but once again, it could be the flip of that. Like, yeah, that's just not my cup of tea. I'm out. So, mhm. But yeah, and then like we've got this COVID-19 shit. That shit's so weird, man. COVID-19. Oh shit. Like I get it. I really get it. I get that it exists. I know that it exists, but it existed back in the 80s and shit too. It just didn't do half the shit that it does now. And like we've been dealing with we've been dealing with like the flu at one point in North America. You had the flu like fucking people up left and right. So you got the flu fucking with people. And while the flu is fucking with people, killing people, thousands of people and shit. Like, and then it's evolving into the avian flu and this, that, and the other. And all along, you don't hear shit about COVID. Like, it's just the flu and then it's other shit. Then, lo and behold, comes 2019. That's the real, that's the epicenter. It ain't even 2020, 2019. And then people start dropping left and right. They're getting sick. They're going in the hospital. All this crazy shit. 2020 rolls around and they're like, "Oh, well, it's new virus called COVID-19." And if you look on the back of your Lysol can, like even older ones, they talk about it kills COVID-19. So COVID-19 is back and bigger and badder than ever, taking out people by the thousands. And I think you guys get it all the time on your phone, like your phone beeps or it rings or the TV goes silent and then it's a static channel and it's like, this is a public safety test. This is a test by the government. This test is, all the bullshit spill. That's what I feel COVID-19 was. And I had it. I contracted it. And um, I survived it, obviously. I'm talking to you today, but I feel like it was a public safety test because it was just like, okay, it came around and they ran some tests. They ran some serious drills on you. They were like, all right, stay in your house. Stay in your house. Don't come out. Stay in your house. Don't come out. And have someone bring food to you. Have them leave it on your doorstep. People inside their car, stay inside your car. Stuff will get brought to you. You take it. You go home and you lock. You stay back in. You will wear a mask everywhere. You will, you will wash your hands. Fucking, I wish I had stock in toilet paper because fucking toilet paper was flying off the shelves. Now you got somebody or a couple different people with garages, warehouses, storage units with toilet paper stacked to the wazoo. They can't get rid of that shit. Get rid of that shit. But no, I digress. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just so much shit went down with that situation for years. All you hear is COVID-19, COVID-19, cause of death, COVID-19, cause of death, COVID-19. God rest her soul. My mother just passed, and I swear to God, if I would have seen on her death certificate, cause of death, COVID-19, I would have flipped the fucking. COVID-19 had shit to do with my mother's death. My mother died from cancer, and That's that. That's how that story was written. Like COVID-19 was nothing to do with that. But everything else, they were saying COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. No flu. We had no flu in those years. Nobody got sick. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, there was no flu. Nobody got sick in those years. Not even a sniffle of a flu or anything else other than COVID-19. And then here we are, 2023. You barely have to wear a mask and shit anymore, if at all, really. Especially if you're in Florida. Florida doesn't play that shit, so you don't really have to wear a mask anymore. You can go do all the normal shit that you used to do anymore. The malls are packed. The malls are back to it. The theaters are packed. Business is back. Um, and you really don't hear too much more about COVID-19. Now you got all these fucking vaccines sitting, billions of dollars worth of fucking COVID vaccines, and they can't get rid of them. But something else came of this. Also, I don't know if you've seen on certain social media outlets where people have taken a magnet, stuck it to the spot where they got the COVID vaccine shot, and the magnet latches on, holds on to them. And so, funny fucking thing, they also said they were just like, in order to work, in order to go here, in order to do this, damn near in order to drive, you have to get chip. I meant my bad. You have to get a vaccine, in order to continue on and do shit. Yeah, that's fucking wild, huh? Crazy. Crazy. I'm surprised they didn't tell you that he had COVID. That's wild. But yeah, so you got that going on. And then fucking yeah, again, I agree. I agree. It was a good thing because it's just like the fuck. Like I said, I didn't hear anything. I didn't really hear any case made whatsoever about the flu. It was just COVID, COVID, COVID. Or fucking what else popped up around that time? Ebola. Yeah, Ebola was fucking getting ratchet out here. Crazy times, man. But anyway, they have you get the shot and all this, or you can't go to work, or you can't do this, and crazy how religion saved people. People were like, I can't get the shot, it's against my religion. So they had to write certain exemptions. But a lot of people got the shots. So there's certain books out there that talk about the New World Order and how, yeah, this rabbit hole's getting deep, but the New World Order and how shit's gonna happen, and pretty much everything has lined up exactly how they said it was going to happen with this New World Order protocol. This book predicted World War I and World War II and World War III. In the book, they talk about the shit going on over there in Palestine and Israel. Uh, in the book, they talk about all this shit with how COVID broke down and shit. And like the next steps are pretty fucking intense. So, yeah. I just sit back though, man. Sit back and I do my best to try to breathe and work through everything and just observe. Because at the end of the day, I'm not in a position of extreme power to do anything about it. So it's like, fuck it, whatever. I mean, no. But yeah, the COVID vaccines, they made people get them, and the people that got them, they say you could take like a black light or a blue light, some shit. I don't know. Like I say, do the research for yourself. This is just things that I've picked up here and there. I haven't given it too much stock. I haven't bought into it or doubled down with it. They say you can take a black light, shine it on your shit, and then like next thing you know, it'll pop up and it'll, show you whatever. Then they say you can do XYZ with this, that, and the other, and it's like, oh shit, well, yeah, that's some, that's really intense if that's the case. But it is what it is. But yeah, that they say that that's going to be tracking. You're going to use that to track you and whatever, and keep track of you whenever they push martial law. And I'll be out of here before that happens, so because like I'm not one to follow instructions like that. I've done my time. I've served my country, so we'll see how that goes. But nah, man, if they want to track you, they got this nice little thing called a phone. It does its job right fine. A lot of you are like, "Oh, I got my location turned off." Well, guess what? The government, they got it turned on. It's okay. Now there are certain YouTubers out there that can tell you step by step how to do a master, like, I'm not too eloquent this time of night, but basically how to take you through step by step, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. I can't speak for newer Androids like 14 and 15 and all that, but they can take you through, they can tell you how to go through, turn off certain apps that are running in the background, even without you having them run. You can turn these apps off. You can have them only run when you run them, and you can turn off your location. Like you can make sure that shit's turned off, unless you want it turned on. But yeah, like I'm definitely getting tired, and I hope Vic is better now for sure. But yeah, I just felt like spilling a little bit of my guts out. If I go missing after this, obviously this video was 100% fact based. But no, it's just me spewing a lot of shit that's going on up here in my head. So, but I don't know. I might get on tomorrow. We'll see. In the morning, should I say? I won't say tomorrow, but in the morning I might get on. But all right, guys, it's been swell. Talk to you later.